This video was made in collaboration with the Avatar Wiki. If you'd like to learn more, check out the link in the description. "15 Advanced Waterbending Abilities." Welcome to the Amagi. In today's video, we're going over 15 advanced waterbending abilities. Before we begin, we publish a new video every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 1. Armless Waterbending. Proficient waterbenders can control water without the use of limbs, relying only on the torso to generate enough movement to manipulate a medium. With this technique, waterbenders such as Minghua can create water-like appendages as makeshift arms, and even turn the entire body into an ice drill by generating enough momentum. Number 2. Ice Fissure. Avatars are able to use waterbending to split frozen ground by bending the water mixed with the earth. Unalaq used this technique after merging with Vaatu to form a deep chasm and trap Korra within, intending to crush her as he brought both sides of the fissure back together. Number 3. Remote Waterbending. Avatars can use waterbending from distances which a waterbender would not normally be able to access. While in combat with Ozai, Aang went into the Avatar state and pulled water in from the sea toward himself to make part of his elemental sphere. After defeating Ozai, Aang raised the tides of the sea to put out the fire at Wulong Forest caused by Ozai and his airships. Number 4. Tsunami. Since they can control larger amounts of water, avatars are capable of creating and controlling water bodies of far greater size and scale, including causing massive tsunamis at will. This technique was first demonstrated by Avatar Karuk as he created a large wave to ride on. Later, Aang and Princess Yue created a large tsunami that brought Aang to safety on Crescent Island. Korra used a variation of this technique to create a localized wave that spun the northern battleships out of the way to allow Varric's yacht to pass through their blockade. Number 5. Water Compression. An avatar in the Avatar state has enough power over water to compress its volume, compacting several thousands of gallons into a small volume. Aang did so when he created his elemental sphere while preparing to pursue Ozai. Number 6. Bloodbending. Bloodbending is a rather sinister application of the principle that water is present in every living organism, thus making them bendable objects themselves. By definition, bloodbending is a technique that allows a bender to enforce his or her own will over an organism. Initially, it was thought that bloodbending could only be done during the full moon, where waterbenders were at their most powerful. However, it was proven that complete mastery of bloodbending would not require a full moon to practice the ability when Yakone and later his sons, Noatak and Tarlok, had employed the technique without the aid of the full moon. The technique was invented by Hama during her time as a Fire Nation prisoner following the Southern Water Tribe raids. She came to a realization that living things, animals and humans included, contain large volumes of water and can thus be bent. Later, the technique was outlawed following the 100-Year War, with Katara leading the motion for it to be declared illegal. Number 7. Healing. Waterbenders can sometimes use a unique subskill, the ability to heal injuries by redirecting energy paths or chi throughout the body using water as a catalyst. Waterbenders can use their abilities to heal by surrounding a sick or injured person with water, which glows during the process. When infused with spiritual knowledge, a variation of this technique can be used to calm angry spirits, as demonstrated by Unalaq and Korra. The use of healing was generally taught to female waterbenders of the Northern Water Tribe, who were not allowed to study combative forms of waterbending prior to the end of the 100-Year War. Katara is known to be the best healer in the world. With the help of Spirit Oasis water, she was able to heal Aang and resurrect him. Number 8. Body Temperature Control. Considered an extension of healing, certain powerful waterbenders are able to lower body temperature to such a level that all processes are slowed down, including death itself. Atuat used this technique to heal the wounded guards of Chancellor Dairen. Kyoshi later learned the technique from Atuat, and used it to freeze Yun's heart and lungs during their final confrontation, causing his death. Number 9. Cloud Manipulation. By working together, a waterbender and airbender can easily manipulate clouds which are made of air and water to create various shapes. In one particular instance, cloud shaping was used to provide a message to nearby villagers of an erupting volcano. It was later used by Aang and his friends to disguise their flights on Appa while moving about the Fire Nation. Number 10. Condensation. Not only can skilled waterbenders condense clouds into a usable source of water when they are within close range of one, but they can also condense invisible water vapor right out of the air. Although, due to the limited quantities of water present in the air, as a mere 1% at most of the Earth's atmosphere is water vapor, the amount of water extracted from the air is quite minimal. Favorable environment and climatic conditions increase the amount of water one can remove from the air. Number 11. Plantbending. A member of the Foggy Swamp tribe, who illustrated that talented waterbenders can manipulate plant life. Plantbending has enabled members of the swamp to control and manipulate every form of plant life, from the highly water-saturated vines and roots found within the swamplands to seaweed from the ocean floor. They can even rapidly compress and replace the plant mass of the plants they bend, since the cell tissues of a plant are more versatile than the cell tissues of an animal, also explaining why bloodbending can generally only be achieved on the nights of the full moon, all by bending the ample amount of water within them just as they can with watery mud. Going further, a skilled waterbender is able to separate and completely extract the water from plants for more effective utilization, just as they are able to separate the water from mud, sand, and even polluted river systems. In the case of plant life, this process will leave behind the withered remains of all the affected plant life, or even making them collapse in the case of large trees. The degree of skill in manipulating plant life depends on the experience of the bender and whether or not a full moon is present. Katara and Hama extracted the water from large trees with relatively no difficulty during their battle under the full moon. Simpler and smaller forms of plant life, such as grass, flowers, and seaweed, can be bent with relative ease, with or without a full moon. Number 12. Solutions. It's been shown that waterbenders can manipulate any mass of liquid consisting of some water. For example, Katara bent the contents of the Abbey's perfume vats. She used waterbending to stir and ladle stew into bowls, to spill ink out of a bowl, and to bend the water inside mud as well. Katara halted the flow of the slurry on the back of the drill to prevent Ty Lee from following her, and with Toph's aid they were able to push the slurry back into the drill. Katara was seen bending mud when she and Toph ended up fighting when they were supposed to be training Aang, and she bent soup right into Appa's mouth from a pot. Katara bent ink to make a Fire Nation official leave the room so she and Zuko could search through the files about the current location of the Southern Raiders. Aang thought of using glue bending to defeat Ozai, suggesting that a waterbender can bend glue. Number 13. Spiritbending. A variation of the healing technique with the addition of spiritual knowledge. By encircling spirits or even projected human souls in the spirit world with water, one is able to induce a change between the positive and negative energies, creating balance or imbalance within the target. Number 14. Steam manipulation. A technique that allows waterbenders to manipulate steam and can also be used to manipulate fog. It can be used to freeze people or objects or to create cover. Katara made good use of the technique when she created a thick cloud of steam to conceal a ship from the enemy, and when she surrounded herself in fog to create an eerie atmosphere while pretending to be a river spirit. Korra also made use of this technique while infiltrating Amon's rally using steam from nearby pipes to provide cover for Mako. Number 15. Water Run. This is a technique in which waterbenders run on water at high speeds, in addition to riding on foreign objects with the same purpose. This technique was first used during Team Avatar's crossing of the Serpent's Pass, when Katara formed an ice surfboard and increased her speed in order to effectively freeze the Serpent's midsection without being hit. She used it a second time to cross the lake to Zhanghui. Aang used this in his fight against Ozai to flee from Ozai's attacks after being knocked off a cliff. During their fight with Korra, Desna and Eska encased their feet with ice to allow them to slide across the water. Korra also used this technique to ride a wave and cross the water when she was trying to stop two thieves at a small fishing town. Did you enjoy our video? Be sure to check out these other great videos from the Amagi, and make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.